Yes, it's time for another morning post. Happy Saturday, everyone out there. Gold Cup Day, isn't it, of course? Up at Ayr, absolutely massive. Stick with me, Dave Orton, and the team for the next hour or so. We're going to be giving you some punting pearlers from the best in the business. We're going to boost loads of horses for you, give you top price from our sponsors, William Hill. We're going to have some fun as well. This is your chance, of course, to have your shout out, and we've got a couple of social comments coming in on what is again another big news week. Throughout the show we'll be dripping in and getting some reaction about what's gone on in the past 7 days from the guys as well. Great to have you with us. We've got a lovely core audience on this show. All the markets are set now. 20 mil I'm hearing overnight. Mr. Pricewise himself, Tom Segal, says 20 mil at Newbury. Is that right, Thomas?
Well, it's definitely 15, but it was raining when I came out, so I was maybe exaggerating a little bit, but it's heavy at Newbury now.
Come back, Keeley. Whoever thought we would have thought that? He's the one that usually knows. Graeme Rodway comes back, however.
Hello, Dave. How are you?
I'm well, actually. The last couple of weeks,
you seem chipper today.
as in, sometimes I'm not.
No, you're just
right. Yeah, okay. It's been one of
particularly up
those
for
years,
it.
Tom. No, it's great. Listen, I like this show. I said this last week because we know everything now, right? We got lots of nons.
We know
Mill Reef
everything,
down to 7. Tom's put up some big tips, and we're going to get them to you shortly, but doubtless you've seen that. Did you do some previews for us in the paper?
I did the tipping this week because Keels is away, isn't he? So
On a jaunt, he's been at Yarmouth, hasn't he?
Yeah. I was tempted to go actually up to Yarmouth this week. I usually
Far
do
from
go.
you, is it?
Not too far, no. And,
Essex lad that you are.
Yeah. It only takes about an hour and a half, or so. I can get up there on the train, but I didn't make it in the end, unfortunately.
Ayr Gold Cup massively floats your boat, guys.
Well, I've had a good record in it over the years, so I do like it. A little bit confused this year because it's going to be fast ground, isn't it? And the times are very quick. It's not normally the case in the Ayr Gold Cup, so might be a bit different.
One man that would have rocketed out of bed, he probably hasn't slept. He's probably been doing all the Aussie stuff because Jamie McBride, top trader at William Hill, I called him to Tom when we came in, the new sprint handicap king. And you absolutely love them. You tend to get them right as well, you insufferable buffoon. You've napped in the Silver Gold Cup, and it's an old friend of yours, but we won't go there. You love this race, right? What's the trading like?
Yeah, it was 6 places on both the Silver and Gold Cup, so they are incredibly popular. And punters do like to try and solve these big puzzles. And I'm not alone in that. I do like them. And yes, I have been up early this morning doing all the Australian trials for the Melbourne Cup, etc. So it's been a good early start to the day.
Yeah, who was watching the Australian stuff? Buckaroo winning Group 1.
I can imagine you were. You love a bit of Australian.
I might have got up early this morning.
Yeah. What was I like? Buckaroo, was it?
The actual J-Mac, the real J-Mac. James McDonald won the 3 Group 1s in a row at Randwick. He's unbelievable. Bookies hate it. No, he's that good, isn't he? So it's all bubbling up down under.
I've got a funny story about J-Mac, right? Not J-Mac, J McDonald the jockey, but actually there's a J McDonald the driver of the sulkies. There's actually the sulky racing, where the horses pull the carts.
Oh, them.
Right? Apparently
they're called sulkies.
I know J Mac, the singer on the cruise ships.
Jane McDonald.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I don't really know her, to be honest, but
we're getting a bit diverted. But when I was in Canada, there was a driver called James McDonald, and he was absolutely he won 5 of the 10 races when I was there.
So he's like a pilot,
he drives the sulky.
Canadian
the
these
sulky
days.
Racing.
Sulky.
You never go sulky racing?
No, I've never been sulky racing. I've been trotting in Australia when I was there.
Well, it's the same thing. Reference. Trotting, pacing, whatever you want to call it.
So it's hotting up down under. It's hotting up here. I think September, I've been saying recently, is the best racing month for flat. You can't really beat September. It's, everything's settled now and we're crescendoing towards Champions Day. You get all the good stuff there. Favourite flat racing month? There's a question for everyone out there.
Don't know, Royal Ascot really. June,
everyone's got Derby. June's a strong one. G.
Yeah.
All weather. January.
Where'd you get September from?
What do you mean? Where do I get September from? It's got all the big meetings. It's absolutely fantastic. We go up to the Cambridgeshire. It's absolutely every Saturday is a belter. What are you on about? Have a think about it, man. Once again, you're stuck in your little box.
You're a strange man, aren't you?
Well, I'm a chipper man, according to you. September. Who loves it? What's your favourite racing month out there? There's a good one, isn't it? Anyone?
Everyone's going to say March.
Well, we'll get to March later on in the show. Shall we start to get on a bit? I was going to say it's bubbling under underneath us in Australia. It's bubbling here, and it's bubbling in the States as well. Of course, you've got like Torpedo Anna coming out tonight, all you American racing fans out there. But of course, yesterday at Southwell, the cameras went down, the Racing Post went up as well, and City of Troy did his workout. We always, me and J-Mac were laughing about this, the J-Mac on the show today, that we always seem to start with City of Troy, but he is just that sort of like opinion horse. What did you make of the Gallop yesterday? What did you make of the whole fanfare around it? Have your shouts out. We'll see if we can get some in the show a little bit later on. And we'll get some bookmaker reaction because it didn't please everyone. Now, you didn't see it, Tom, you said to me.
No, haven't seen it yet. Are you going to show it in a sec?
Well, we're not actually going to show to be honest, the producers could have shown that. It's probably a very good idea. But
but they haven't lined it up yet.
No, we have got a bit of footage coming
producer.
up for you. We have got a bit of, and I'm going to play that in a minute. But Breeders' Cup, yes or no?
No.
No. Breeders' Cup, yes or no?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yes, says Tom. And one man that definitely doesn't fancy it is coming up after this. But Sam Hart, our roving producer, somehow got enough half-intellectual question to Aidan O'Brien yesterday.
You've had some great horses, Aidan, running the Breeders' Cup Classic. I won't list them all, but Declaration of War and Giant's Causeway being a couple. Have you learnt anything from training those horses that's helped you in the lead up to City of Troy's training? What's he like?
Yeah, I think so. We felt that he has been different. He felt that he was the most different horse we ever had. It went wrong in the Guineas this year, so we had to pull back. And you probably didn't see what we thought we were going to see through the year, but because we had to prepare him for this race, so he had to go back and learn to relax. He ran in the Derby, taking his time, and we had to take an awful lot on trust. And he went to Sandown. The ground was soft and the pace was slow, and then he started to come back in York. We were delighted, and now we think he's ready for the next step, and that's obviously why he's here today. And then the next one hopefully will be in America.
Is he the best horse you've had going into the Classic?
Yes, he is, and always was as a 2-year-old as well. But obviously it's up to us to try and get that out of him for everybody to see. But we always felt that he was.
Split of opinions then, I think, on the panellists today. Tom, you fancy him. I'm with G. I don't really fancy him. Tell us why you fancy him.
Because he can run the fastest. Simple as. Best horse in the race. Don't care about surfaces. I'm just different. I don't care about surfaces and draws and all those sort of things. It's just not my style. I like horses that can run the fastest, and he can run faster than. I mean, they're not very good, the Americans, I don't think.
Andre Fabre won a Classic on the dirt, didn't he? He's done it.
It's not that. He's won a Johannesburg one on the dirt, and the 2-year-old race. What's the name? The famous Arazzi one. Loads of horses have won on the dirt.
Do you think we just don't do it enough then? And this would be a year, J-Mac, wouldn't it? Where of course the Americans maybe don't. There's certainly no Triple Crown horse. For a minute, Sierra Leone also by Coolmore as well. He sort of fluffed his lines a little bit.
You've got to remember, Saki was beating a nose. Giant's Causeway was beating a nose.
It's great moments.
It's not,
Can we get over the line? And Tom says we're going to get over the line.
Of course we can.
I love it. I love it. One man that doesn't love it is William Hill's Jamie McBride, because it's the first boost of the show.
It is the first boost yet. We're going to go 3-1 from 5-2 as it's topical. Like you said, we have spoken about the horse quite a lot on the show, and I have said it. He might be in the right place at the right time in terms of the older horses don't look very good, and the 3-year-olds have been taking turns to beat each other. Probably the best 3-year-old is Fierceness, who can throw in the odd stinker. But from a bookmaking point of view, it's a very easy decision to take him on. Let's say it's a completely different set of circumstances. Physically, he's only I was surprised how small he was seeing him at York. So he could just get lost in this kind of race, and we're happy to take him on.
Of course, yesterday in his Gallop, they took a lead, which I found funny because it's all been about trying to get him out to lead, isn't it? But it is, whatever you think about it, it's going to be a fabulous moment, isn't it? As a race fan, it adds more than a bag of spice to that, mate.
And the Americans, really, that is the Breeders' Cup for them, isn't it? The Classic. I mean, I know they have all these other races, but all they talk about really is the Classic, isn't it? The Classic, the Classic, the Classic. So if we can win a Classic, that really would be great.
They don't like it up them, is what you're saying. All right, okay, great stuff. That's City of Troy. Well, what do you make of it? You got your first boost of the show. Shall we get to the domestic boost for you? It's at Newbury today, a race that is cutting up. Richard Fahey cannot speak highly enough of this chap. His Power of Glory. The no longer favourite, I don't think. Jay, you're pushing him out and continuing to do so. What are we giving punters?
Yeah, haven't been very strong all week. He's gone a little bit weak in the last 24 hours. I guess there's more uncertainty with him in terms of the ground than maybe some of the others. But Powerful Glory is this week's boost. Obviously, there was a couple of winning boosts last week, so we need to get back on track quickly. But 7-2 from 3-1 he is for the Mill Reef.
Having gone on a great laying spree, you have actually fluffed your lines a bit, haven't you? Punters have been taking these boosts and going to the bar afterwards with a bit of confidence. Powerful Glory then to win the Mill Reef, 3:15. You are now boosted. Richard Fahey's record in that speaks for itself. We'll be previewing it in its entirety. Let's get to what you might pick up in your racing post then this morning if you're going to the shop, or if you're indeed looking at it digitally. The ultimate air show. Flying machines prepare for Gold Cup takeoff. Crowd pleaser as well. The reaction, of course, coming from City of Troy's Gallop. Good to see David Carr, broadband, on the second page. American, bidding to become pride of Scotland. That's Jim Goldie's flyer, of course, won the Portland. Backs up quickly today. The Silver Cup, 2 tribes, well positioned, has shaped like his turn is near. You go, of course, the Flying Filly, Alpha Kalenic. We'll see what Tom and Graham and Jay make of her chance. Value May Live with Defence Minister as Powerful bids to follow up debut success.
Not convinced that Defence Minister's going to win, considering he's a non-runner.
That's a serious issue, isn't it? But again, that's the preview, Tom.
Okay, sorry.
There are other horses available in that preview. Room Service has class to deliver in a wide open thriller. We'll find out how Tom feels about Keith Melrose, the betting editor, and maybe self-proclaimed Sprint King, putting up Tom's tip as well. Visit Gosden's Yard and see economics exercise on Newmarket's Open Weekend. Of course, this is the Henry Cecil Open Weekend map, and it's available to you. So it's not just City of Troy you get to see. You can go and see the Irish Champion Stakes winner as well. Go and go. A marvellous incentive.
Rod?
I'm tempted to go, actually. Yeah, it's not far from me, Newmarket, and the kids will love it. They'll have a good day out there tomorrow.
What horse would you be going to see economics?
Yeah, well, definitely. I just like seeing horses in general. It's great to be around them, isn't it? Especially in their own surroundings, you know, and you can go up, see them right
yeah,
in the
it's
stables.
special, isn't it?
It's
a really good day. It's a really.
I would urge anyone that's thinking of going to Newmarket tomorrow to definitely get down there and enjoy it.
You with your salesman hat on?
Oh no, I went about 2 years ago, I think it was, and we had a great day. But there's bigger yards open now. That day, Cosden wasn't open, Haggis wasn't open. Now you've got all the stars opening. So
get something to eat and drink there.
There's activities in the afternoon.
Your kids love that.
My kids will love it.
Find out about Roi de France for us, G-Rod, if you go. Everywhere I go, people tell me it's going to win the Cambridge.
Really?
Should have won on was it Wednesday when it ran at Yarmouth?
Did it run?
Yeah.
The favourite for the Cambridge.
It needed a penalty to get in, and it came second, and it got held up in its run.
Didn't see.
See your finger was on the pulse, Tom.
Yeah.
But
everywhere
you
I
knew
go,
about Defence Minister. But
everywhere I go, people tell me that's going to win the Cambridge.
Yeah, all right. Well, of course, we'll be getting to that. One of the great handicaps of the week, of course. Just before we go into our Saturday previews, a word on Franny Norton, of course, the King of Chester, of course, signing off at the Rudy today. The evergreen Franny Norton. Everyone's got something to say about Franny, I'd imagine. There were specials, of course, on the William Hill app and the site. How many winners is he going to ride today? Haggis has given him a 5s on shot, hasn't he? Great career.
Yeah, very good. And very good around Chester. So fitting that he's signing off there. And like you say, he should have a winner, shouldn't he? So.
He's a big character, isn't he? He's always
nice chap.
Been a good
very
talker.
Nice chap, yeah. Met Franny on a few golf days over the years. He's a lovely chap, yeah.
And Mark Johnson saw the value in him, didn't he? They had a great record on their day. The Martin might have been on the wall a little bit this year. He's going out on his own terms and tune into Chester today because you've got the farewell Franny Norton handicap, and it's fair to say he's Mark Johnson horse. It's a fitting. It's a Braveheart horse. It's been very well backed as well. Catal in the last there. All right, okay, and news of course that the Futurity now at Doncaster, the final Group 1 of the season domestically, I think, isn't it still? Yes, it is, and it's now got a new sponsor, Jamie McBride.
Yes, we're going full circle. I think we sponsored it when the race was first came about, and we're sponsoring it again. So always good to be associated with the Group 1 race. Obviously, in terms of markets, very early days. The Royal Lodge, etc. There's lots of water to pass under the bridge, but our early favourite is the Line in Winter, just because I thought he's due to run next week in the Goffs Millions race, and that may be a little bit close for him to go on to the Dewhurst. So maybe Doncaster fits more, and he's our early favourite.
Wow, yeah, a bit of a guessing game at the moment, isn't it? But great to see a fitting new sponsor then. The William Hill Futurity will be the final Group 1 of the season on the flat. Right, draw breath. Who wants an insider ad before we go and have a look at the big Saturday previews? There you go. Get on WhatsApp with Tom. Kills having a right old moan about that. He was like, oh, God, WhatsApp everyone. You're doing it though, aren't you, as well? You know.
Apparently,
I think it's quite a good
yeah.
new initiative, that. Looking forward to it, Tom?
Yeah, can't wait.
Can't wait. There you go. All right. Yeah, you can WhatsApp Tom. Ask him about Reading. That's what he prefers to talk about anyway.
You're going to be so nice to me out there, aren't you?
Oh, no. Let's not talk about Reading, though. That's got you the hump again, hasn't it? All right, OK. Shall we go on then? We open up our Saturday previews and start the tipping fanfare with the 1:15 at Ayr. Has been something for Jim Goldie benefit already up there, hasn't it? Jamie McBride, he's having winners left, right and centre. We'll find out if he wins the big one. What do punters think will take the open? 7-2 to field.
Yeah, the Goldie Odd have been going well at Ayr, and some of his have been really well back today. This first race is our top price guarantee race, so we won't be beaten for price on this race. And punters are sticking to the front end of the market. The two losers in the book at the moment are Mersky, who did the best of these in the Clipper Handicap at York last time, and Obelix is the other one who's been well backed, who probably did well to win after extricating himself from some trouble last time.
Yes, that'd been coming Obelix, I think, hadn't it? Clifford Lee takes the ride there today for Julie Camacho. See first folio winning in the week. Unbelievable scene. So bounced him out from the front. She's a really good trainer, isn't she? And she's actually found the best of this one, I think.
Well, he's been frustrating, hasn't he? Because I thought he had a really good chance in the Racing League 2 starts ago, and he ran no sort of race. He can pull too hard. That's his problem. So he needs a strong gallop to come off everything. I actually thought, while he did well to win last time, the race that's exactly how he's going to win a race, getting in trouble and coming home late. I thought Aragon Castle had a chance myself, the 3-year-old. I like 3-year-olds at this time of the year. In that York race, Mersky had the draw, didn't he? He was in stall 1 or 2. Yeah. At York that day. Aragon Castle was out in the middle of the track. We all saw that wasn't wasn't best. I think he did just as well as anything, drawn out in the middle. So I thought, as a 3-year-old, maybe bounce out in front. He's lower drawn today. Maybe bounce out in front with him and PJ McDonald's on board. I thought Aragon Castle had a chance. Yeah, that is interesting, isn't it? Because, of course, that race has worked out well. Holloway boys come out and won a good one, hasn't it? And Thunder One looks like a decent horse on his day. Mersky the favourite there, but perhaps that's an interesting angle, isn't it? The true market price of Aragon Castle might be hidden slightly. Yeah, it could be, yeah. I thought it was a difficult race. I mean, I thought Mersky was the most likely winner. Obviously, that was a good run at York, wasn't it? Second, the third, like you said, was Holloway boys, won since. Take Tom's point that Aragon Castle has probably got a good chance of giving him a better race this time. Obelix was one of my frustrating stories of the year because I backed him and tipped him at a big old price at Nottingham earlier in the year, and he travelled like he was going to win the race whole way and got nutted on the line. That was when he was second. Yeah, by Great Blasket, who, funnily enough, I'd backed on his previous start. Yeah, it was a winning always machine. The same. Always the same, isn't it? It goes. And then, of course, I wasn't on Obelix last week when he won at Haydock. I thought Revich had a chance. Don't start this. Loves this race, doesn't he? Can we find out whether Keeley, the producers will be able to get... Is Keeley going in again with Revich? Because it's a nice thing for punters out there. You bump into punters who watch these shows or read Keels and they're like, is he off that project? Because you know it's going to win next time. Revich has become that duck egg Keels. Over the last 3 years he's won this race, hasn't he? He has looked a shadow. I can't back horses like that. I just can't. I'm absolutely rubbish. 6 duck eggs next to his name. I'm absolutely rubbish. What price is he? 17 to 2. Like wow. I don't know. So Richard Spencer had a winner at the track yesterday. Of course, Candy won the nursery, didn't it? For him? So he does tend to find the right races. Paddy Shack's interesting as well. He's had a few runs. Was 7th in Ace Impact's French Derby last year, and we've seen David O'Mara do well with these French imports in the past, and he's getting better and better and better in Britain. So again, like I said, I can make a case for 4 or 5, but I went for the Fab in the end. But I won't be betting in the race. Well, David O'Mara is a nice link. I was able to speak to Jason Watson in the week, and he had the chance of going to Ayr, but he's gone to Newbury. And let's get the first race up at Newbury because this is Jason's big ride of the weekend. A jockey that's really having a strong comeback, and of course, David O'Mara found him at perhaps something of a low ebb and put him back together on the Northern Circuit. He's now riding winners all over the place, and he gets back on Anaf, who's actually been really easy to back, J-Mac.
Yeah, he has. He was our favourite when we put the prices back out on Thursday after the final decks, but Relief Rally has usurped him as fav. She's really popular and she's significant loser in the book, but she's one I'm quite happy to lay. I'm not convinced to drop back to 5s in her favour. And although she won a maiden on heavy ground, all her form since been on fast ground, so quite happy to be against her. And one of the horses back to the bigger price is significantly, obviously the ground is probably the primary factor there.
Interesting, isn't it, that Ross Orion is on your old favourite, Democracy Dilemma? Are you? There's of course it's a Group 3. We've got a lot of old friends here, but are you giving it another chance? That was a winning nap for you, wasn't it, a couple of weeks ago?
It was, yeah. I've had 2 bets in the race: Democracy Dilemma and Desperate Hero, both double figures on Thursday. Democracy Dilemma, it's got enough form on soft ground, and hopefully it can just kill the race off early again.
Yeah, I must admit, I looked at his profile thinking if the rain comes, he's in trouble. Of course, he's won on heavy ground. Horses that will like the ground, I'll go through them. Anaf doesn't mind it. Desperate Hero likes it desperate. Ade and Devon as well, another horse that will really quite like it significantly, of course. They're all standing their ground here. Let's start off with the favourite, Tom. We thought she might get retired Relief Rally. Here she is, and she's been backed.
Yeah, she's very good. Good Newbury record, won the Super Sprint. I'm not surprised she's been backed. She could be a class above these. Presume the Abbey is the target. Whether she's going to love the heavy ground, because there's been Newbury Way and it didn't stop raining all night. It was a thunderstorm of 15 mil they had at least. So it's going to be very heavy there. Yes, heavy there today. Whether that's what she wants, don't know. Little bit. I know you say Desperate Hero will love the ground. Little bit concerned.
He's a dual heavy ground winner, isn't he?
I know, but his best form was at Hamilton, and that wasn't that. I just think he's been a little bit better on good ground. But listen, he handles the ground. I thought significantly, definitely. He won the Ayr Gold Cup on this day last year.
Yes.
So they've obviously come to Newbury for the ground rather than go to Ayr. Little bit disappointed with him last time.
It's amazing how often horses bounce back at the right time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, but
on the same days, I find.
Last year he'd run in the Portland and he'd run in a few good. He just should have won the Portland last year, I thought. And he was really in form. This year he ran at York last time and Quinault won a listed race, and I backed him that day because I thought this is perfect soft ground, and he was a little bit disappointing. But maybe that was his get it ready run for whether it was the Ayr Gold Cup or this race, and so the ground has come right in his favour, and I don't think 5 furlongs is a problem. If you watch last year's Ayr Gold Cup, he was 10 minutes the best horse.
Yeah.
He kept getting hampered and he
Tough
still won.
And
he's a good horse on his day. He's a bit nutty in the stalls, so he's got to get in. But I wouldn't put anyone off at 14-1 now the ground's gone in his favour. Yeah,
that's interesting. The reason why I say about Desperate Hero, I've been watching him since he's gone up a grade.
Yeah.
And I think if he's going to last home, it will be when the others are out of their comfort zone on this sort of ground. That's my angle, and J-Mac likes it as well. What about G's angle?
I tipped Desperate Hero on Monday, in the Racing and Football Outlook, and I thought the ground might come right for him. He's won at the course, hasn't he? I think he might be a course and distance winner. He's obviously tight enough at the price now. I actually tipped a non-runner in the paper, Toca Madero, just because I thought that these older sprinters are not that good, and the 3-year-olds might be capable of
Brian Meehan's horse
improving past them. He'd put James Dawn on it, but that doesn't run now. So I'll stick with Desperate Hero. But as I say, I was hoping to steal a bit of maybe 50 or 66s on Toca Madero, 4 places a few firms were offering.
Yeah, it's a juicy puzzle to solve then. 4-1 the field, Relief Rally, Tom says could just be a cut above, but maybe significantly is the value play. A lot of love for Desperate Hero as well. Let's move on then. We're sticking at Newbury, and we go from one end of the distance spectrum to the other. Mile 5 this, isn't it? And we've got Waxing Gibbous, of course, comes probably with the best recent form in the race anyway, and punters happy to give her another chance. For David Manuzzi, Harry Davis on J-Mac.
It's reasonably popular. When I priced this up Thursday, I thought the front end of the market looked really solid and be tough to get a result. But obviously, Waxing Gibbous was big eye catcher last time. They pulled well clear of the third. Lieber Power's absolutely thriving at present, and Chillingham's been he hasn't had the rub of the green in recent starts, so they all looked really solid. But the big mover is the bottom horse, Ithaca's Arrow, who was as big as 18-1 on Thursday, but is now down to 11-2. There's a bit of a Rule 4 in there, but still a significant move.
Yeah, well, he loves the slop. There's quite a few in here that do. Tom, I'm going to come to you with this again. You look as if you've got the characters like Not So Sleepy here. Thought Flash Bardo was one that might have come in. That does want a bit of slop underneath. And there's full of bounce back horses, these. But you have got those at the top of the market that are holding their form. Where do we like?
It's a tricky one, this. I mean, Waxing Gibbous was really eye-catching. I thought it was a massive eye-catcher in the Old Newton Cup, was it? Whatever it was.
Yeah. Got
nutted on the line, but she did a bit, she, can't remember. She did a bit too much early in the race. She went too soon. All the others that raced up with the pace were out the back. She got collared on the line by a horse that had run fourth in the Ebor and second at Royal Ascot.
Epic Poet.
As a proper horse, she's got to be well handled. I think she's probably got £10 still in hand. I don't know whether she'll like heavy ground. Well, it's David Menuisier, so most of his horses tend to.
Are they running out of options with her a little bit? Because it's a 14-day break. She had I thought she had a hard enough race.
Yeah, but it's a. She does well at Newbury, doesn't he? What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah.
I think she's going to win, but I'm not sure I'll back her at 7-2. Ithaca's Arrow is obviously the wise guy horse, isn't it? Yeah. Loves heavy ground, likes Newbury, won in the mud over hurdles at Newbury, back to form at Chester last time. I think this is a better race than the ones he normally runs in. And you've got to give Cheltenham and Lieber Power a big chance. Cheltenham ran really well in the Ebor. Very good record on soft ground. I don't think he's got any more on the heavy ground, but he's got good form on soft ground.
When did he last win? I think he was given a chance at Ripon to win, wasn't he? If you know what I mean. He found the right race and still didn't manage to go over the line.
No, but it was probably quite a good race. The Ripon race. I mean, Shadow Dance, did it?
Might have been. Let me just check.
It was probably quite a good race, so I wouldn't throw him out. I think Waxing Gibbous will probably win, but I'm not sure.
Sea King and Knightswood,
so I'm not completely against loads of others, so I wouldn't be having a bet, but I do like Waxing
I couldn't be going in with Chillingham at 9-2. I don't know about you, G. He's just stung me a few times. Lieber Power was very eye-catching last time at York. I had him down as a horse that might have been held by the handicapper, and he keeps proving me wrong a bit. A lot of punters will be latching onto that run, I think.
Yeah. It's another race, isn't it, where you can make a case for loads of them. I have tipped Qatari in the paper. However, I am really surprised how weak in the market he is.
Back off a long break.
He's coming back off a long break for Gary and Josh Moore. I was watching the market yesterday. There seemed to be a few nibbles at him early in the day, and I thought, maybe this horse is fancied. But they cannot give him away, Qatari. And first time up on heavy ground after 112 days off, I'd be a bit worried about him doubling in price almost. So, having tipped him in the paper, obviously yesterday, I won't be backing him, having seen how weak he is. It wouldn't surprise me if Not So Sleepy ran well. It's his last ever race, isn't it? He loves heavy ground.
It's his last ever race. That's what escaped me. Right, okay. Oh, the Great
Grand Alliance. He won a group race on heavy ground at Newbury in the past, so it's wide open, I think.
All right, okay. It's an absolute belter. It's over a mile 5. Tom thinks Waxing Gibbous will win. Graham's horse cannot be given away. That's Qatari down the bottom, and good luck to Not So Sleepy Connections. Let's move on then and make it even easier for you. Yep, it's the Silver Cup time, 2:25, and the Flying Filly Alpha Kalenic Winning Machine heads the market. But there has been a right old gamble here, isn't there? In the, how do we pronounce him, the old boy?
I'm going with Summerhand, Dave. Yeah, 11-2 now from 9-1 when we put betting out for this on Thursday afternoon. Yeah, another race where I thought the front end of the market looked really solid. Alpha Clinic won at York. At the time I priced that York Fillies handicap up, I thought it was a really, really strong race, and it is working out really well. So she's solid, and as we've already said, I'm a fan of Brooklyn 99, who I thought has been desperately unlucky on a few occasions, and one day it'll all click. Hopefully it's today.
This studio, whatever show has ever been done in here, has always loved Summer Gand, as I call him. Summer Hand. Jay just went for. I said when we were coming in, he looks like he's got a bit of Oktoberfest about him, Jay McBride. If you bumped into Jay McBride at an Oktoberfest, you would ask him for directions, wouldn't you? Let's have a look at him. Look, you could just see him, couldn't you, with the lederhosen on? You know what I mean? He's got the steins in his hand. It turns out it's an American meaning. So it's not Summer Hand at all. It's not German. It's American. It means cancel, apparently, which a lot of people have pressed a button on him, haven't they? Because he's doing what he usually does. However, he does have his day in the sun. Tom?
Yeah, well, listen, he was 10-1 for the race last year, the Ayr Gold Cup, when he was racing off 107. He did come last, but he was 10-1. The year before, he won the Ayr Gold Cup off 102. He's now running in the Silver Cup of 89. And he's been running really well. The last 3 runs, he was fourth in the Great St Wilfrid. He wasn't beaten far in the York race, which was, a bit funny because of the draw that day. But he ran real eye catcher in the cover last week in the Bold Lad handicap, and he likes Ayr because they go so fast. If the conditions are they yesterday, it was a big headwind behind yesterday. It was hard to come from behind. He's got less chance because it's hard. He'll be out the back and having to come through horses.
Yeah.
But if it's a normal Ayr type race where he finishes off the race well, you could see him running a massive race. You really could. I'd be surprised if he's not in the first 3. But as Jay said there, the filly at the top, it just keeps winning. And she travels so well in her races that she's got to have a chance. And Brooklyn 9-9, as he says, has been an eye catcher on about 10 occasions.
Yeah, me and Jay have been sort of backing that together, Jay, haven't we? Brooklyn 9-9. He was a massive eye catcher at York when he sort of ran on late. Then he should have won last time, shouldn't he?
Yeah, I thought he got squeezed out early, which put him on the back foot, and then when he came to get involved later on, again, he was a bit short of room. I think maybe this extra furlong, just give him a bit of time to find his feet early. Hopefully he'll do the trick.
This is worth 33 grand to the winner, but it could be worth more. It's a really good races. You've got King's Merchant in there, Aram Ram who's coming into it. You've got horses like Bergerac, of course, Admiralty, Mr. Wagyu, all the favourites here. Lucky Man was a winner last time.
What do you think of the Georgie?
Yes.
Any idea? I don't.
I don't know. I mean, I would have liked to have been able to see the Bronze Cup yesterday before I actually wrote my copy for the paper, because of the horse that I've tipped in the paper is drawn 24 or 25, and in the Bronze Cup yesterday, certainly it appeared that low draws were favoured.
Down the middle, really, isn't it?
Well, it was low yesterday.
2-9 and...
They've been coming up the middle in all the normal in the straight track races.
I've done the Ayr Gold. I'm getting on these days, Dave. So
we've worked out you might be the oldest among us.
I'm the oldest on the panel. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, even Johnny Dineen's coming on in a minute. You might be older than him, I think.
And I've seen so many Ayr Gold Cups, and things change. Bielsa was the only horse to come up and stand side one year.
Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Oh, God.
And I've seen so many years gone by. And if you look at the past winners of the Ayr Gold Cup, very few are drawn low, whereas in the Silver Cup, lots are drawn low. So they're on the same day. It changes. I don't know whether.
Is this the pointer? Sometimes you get the consolation races and you're like, it doesn't really tell us anything. This from memory is one where we'll know where we might want to go.
No. If you look at the winners of the silver, if you look at the winners of the Silver Cup, there's been a lot of single figure winners. You look at the winners of the Ayr Gold Cup, there's hardly any.
Oh man.
So I don't know where they're going to go. I don't think the jockeys know where they're going. Look at Newbury yesterday. They're all winning up the middle. Then they run the listed race and they come up the stand side. Who knows where they're going to go? These jockeys, they make it up as they go along. So it's anyone's guess.
Yeah, all right. Ayr Gold Cup winner is?
Silver. I've backed... Roberto Caro, I've backed. Adrian Keatley won this last year with Wob Wob Wob. Was really well backed. He's only had this horse... 3 runs, I think. It was with Seb Spencer before, racing over 7 furlongs a mile. He's dropped it back to 6 furlongs. He's won 2 of its 3 runs for the stable, and they obviously do well with sprinters.
Yeah.
Like I say, 24 or 25. Who knows whether that'll be good or bad? I'm hoping it's going to be good.
He's having a very good year.
Emperor's Son's not out of it. I mean, it's a massive price, but it ran 3 races last year. It was beaten a neck by Killian, who's rated 91. Won a neck, but beaten Killian first time up.
Very good too.
Then it ran in the Coventry, and then it ran in the Gimcrack, and that's it. It hasn't run since. I mean, whether
33-1.
Yeah, whether he's up to winning this race first time out after a hugely long layoff. I mean, they must have thought something of it, mustn't they, to run him in those races, totally unexposed. I mean, I'm guessing, but the handicap must be guessing as well. So
probably could have found an easier spot to make a comeback in, couldn't they?
I'll have a little go.
He's running here, isn't it?
Yeah.
What about the old 2 tribes there? Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Yes.
What do you think? I mean, he ran really well in the York race. He was in front of Summerhand.
Yeah, again.
Richard Spencer's won this race. Did he win this race?
Oh, wow.
Lucky Man. Did it win it? Well, he won a version of this race.
Right.
He's definitely won a version of this race. So I thought he was quite interesting
On
too.
the penultimate run at York, he and again, Richard Spencer going up with a strong team to
It really is one of those days, isn't it, where the races have come thick and fast, and you could throw out 5 for each
Let's
one.
get this out of the way. You're
really
not
competitive.
confident today, are you? Sometimes you come on with this ebullience. You know
I'll tell you why. Every horse that I fancy today is remarkably easy to back this morning. I don't like that.
What
Always
would
worries
tell
me.
you to do in this situation?
Yeah, you would tell me to press up, but I don't really agree with that. I think the market, is particularly in early, it tends to be a good guide.
When you've got pockets like keels, you can press up on the drifters. All right, okay. Now we must move on. Let's go back to Newbury because this is a really good race. I always really like this race. It's Dubai duty free, of course.
Wow,
Over the. I'm just looking for the nons here actually in this race because it is now heavy, of course, at Newbury. Just Quietness is out, and Flying Frontier. Was Flying Frontier your original fav?
Yes, I'm going to say yes. It was close between him and the horse he was finished up sides at Sandown, wasn't it? Involvement. But yeah, they were the early market movers. There's been a couple of big moves. Bolster, obviously the ground, and Mustard, who was 20-1 after we put the prices out on Thursday, but ran a cracker last night at 5:15, so that's why that's shortened up. Be a pretty good effort to come back 22 hours later and win this race, but obviously it was a good effort. And he didn't pick up a penalty for finishing second yesterday.
Yeah, Mustard then for David Brabant and Harry Eustace. I can go across the Irish Sea, shall we, and see where Mr. Dineen is. Are you at home, Johnny? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm at home. Yeah.
Where are the palm trees, Johnny? Last time I was on, you had palm trees behind you.
He must
Yeah,
have.
no, I can only afford to go there every now and then, and it's very every now and then. But anyway, we won't be seeing palm trees for a while, I'd imagine.
First white lie from Mr. Dineen of the show. Either money shot, Tom or Johnny. Who's older? We will reveal at the end of the show. You look older than the pair of them. You're not. Yes, which is might want to have see what can happen this year. Lots of crazy things. You need to get your confidence back, I think. All right, Johnny, great to have you with us. We're going to be talking all things Irish, of course, a little bit later on. But here you are for the Dubai Duty Free. Let's give you the floor. Do you like one here?
No.
Who invited him on?
Yeah, I was wondering why you invited me on. Is right. Look, I had a look at the English racing on Thursday for Saturday, and like it normally is tricky of a Saturday, but I could hardly find a bet in hardly any meeting. I thought even these kind of races. I know there's probably non-runners and that, and a lot of the stuff is in the too difficult tray for me anyway, to be honest. Like I always associate Ayr Gold Cup Day with like Russian roulette racing, isn't it? Like I just think it is anyway. Them 20-runner handicaps, and as the boys said there, the draw can vary from one race to another. Just when you think high draws will win, the low one will win, all that kind of stuff. To be honest, Dave, I didn't even look at this race. I'd hate to offer something.
Well, that's fair enough. So you got you that don't fancy it, and then they're all on the drift. Johnny says it's like Russian roulette. Thankfully you're here, Tom. Thankfully you're here. All right, okay. Bolster will love the soft ground. He's still got a few questions to answer after pretty tame runs.
I can't believe the price. Can you?
No, I can actually.
It's a lot shorter than I thought it was.
Is this one of those look for a mudlark class pile in?
Well, first of all, I tipped him, so I fancy him anyway. But I thought the Epsom one was very good. He won on Oaks Day on soft ground, and he won easily. I know there were a few in behind that got in a bit of trouble, but I like horses like him that are uncomplicated out front. All these excuses for horses getting in the way, they tend to do it again and again and again. And then he ran in a Group 3 in Ireland, and he was 100 to 30. He was beaten about 5 lengths. But
Jan
first
Bruegel
was the St. Ledger winner.
Yeah.
And second was Trust Your Instinct that won a Group 3 on Champions Day last Saturday. And he's up against, and he likes soft ground, and he's going to get the run of the race from the front, and he might just be better than these. Involvement's quite a good improving horse, but I thought he was a bit disappointing last time. Mustazid loves Newbury, loves heavy ground, so I see where the money's coming from. But, Bolster's pretty good, I think.
This is what we want, isn't it? Johnny Dineen's just been talked into a 3-1 certainty on
It wasn't 3-1. To be fair, I've got a few points bigger than that, but there have been a few non-runners, so.
Yeah, okay, all right. Look, this can often be a sort of stepping stone towards sort of Cambridgeshire sort of time. Have you got any sort of confidence about anything today?
I put forward Bolster as my tip. It'll come up on the screen in a minute. But I didn't think he'd be 3-1. I thought he'd be about. You
said everything you've tipped is drifting like a barge. It's just been smashed.
In the paper, yeah. I didn't put this one in the paper, obviously. But
you'll be glad now. You got 3-1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even better. But
honestly, send him back to Essex.
What does
Johnny,
Jamie
come back
say?
over
Jamie
next week, will you? Your seat is cold, man, at the minute.
Is this still shortening, this Bolster, Jamie?
Yeah, he is very popular. Yeah, like I said, he's got the ones next to his name on soft ground, which is always going to interest punters. So yeah, he's going to be very popular.
Anything else in the race? Whipcracker, haven't been gelded, I suppose, yet to run in a handicap.
He's interesting, he is, Whipcracker.
Hughesy's having a good time of it again, isn't he?
Yeah, I was at Newmarket earlier in the season. I think JRB might have won the race, and he was really well backed, Whipcracker. He ran quite well.
Ryan
then
Moore.
there was a bit of money for him yesterday for this race. Ryan Moore's on.
He rides a lot for Hughes, doesn't he? Obviously, they've got a Hannon Association of Baths, but he does ride a lot for
I mean, I was torn between Bolster and Whipcracker, and I thought, well, 10-1 Bolster, 5-1 Whipcracker. I've got to back Bolster, but
Can't
now
keep a good man down. You've just given us a forecast. I could see it building back up within you.
I wouldn't be that confident, but I could see him running well, Whipcracker.
All right, okay. Having said he doesn't fancy anything, he's on the smashed up favourite with Tom. And that's the first agreement of the panel as well. That's the 240s of Dubai duty free. Let's go stick with Newbury, shall we? It's decimated somewhat, unfortunately, the Mill Reef. Having said on Thursday when I was previewing it that this looked like a proper edition of the race, I'm afraid we are down to 7. So you can see the nons there. Tom, wow. All right, I'll get to Tom's reaction on the prizes coming up. It looks like, is the Godolphin horse out now as well, Jay?
Yeah, just the last couple of minutes there, that's come out, which is a bit of a head scratcher because I thought he was one of the ones we had running for us against the boost. He's related to Earthlight, who went on the heavy ground, and there's other horses in the family who love soft. So that's a bit of a puzzling one for me. But yeah, it's sadly it is falling apart a little bit, this race.
Well, I've got a big rule 4 on one. I think Tom might be the same as well. But
and Johnny Dineen. I read his column this morning. You didn't, clearly.
Well, that's because I usually get to go through it on this, of course. Thank you, Thomas. All right, I'll tell you what, now let's give him the floor then. Are we all fans of Brian?
Yeah, I have a small bet on Brian at well, it's a big price compared to what it is now, but I'm expecting about a 90-cent rule 4. I'd say that's about how many non-runners is there? 4. I didn't even look at the non. Look, I'll be happy if it win, but I haven't much on it anyway. But like, you can't get much on it these kind of biggish odds. But when I saw the price first, they were going 14 and 5-1. The horse belonged to Keighley, which doesn't run. Yeah. So I was saying to myself, so that can't be right anyway. Surely, I mean that horse should probably have beaten Keighley's horse in Kempton, has form at this track, has form on this ground. Like, would I back him now at 9-4? I'll probably just leave my little bet run away now. I'd give him a good chance at the same time. I do think he has more done than Powerful Glory, winning a Pontefract maiden who's unproven on the ground. At least Brian has proven on the ground, like, is running, has recent form, has a lot going for it now at the same time, and the field is cut up nicely. Look, I think he'll probably win, to be honest.
Oh, love that, Johnny. All right, having gone from Russian roulette racing to... See, there's always a puzzle to be solved, isn't there? The wonderfully named Brian. You were saying, who's your favourite Brian?
Yeah, who is your favourite Brian?
Blessed, I think, is mine. Gordon's alive.
Rodders came up with the best one, Brian Clough. Died.
Oh, yes.
Died 20 years ago yesterday.
Magnificent creature. Yeah.
I'm a bit of a cricket fan,
Cox.
Brian Lara.
Brian Lara. There are loads of them, it turns out.
Yeah.
Brian the Snail. There's loads of them there. Brian the Snail. Brian, we're going way off track here. Who's your favourite Brian out there? There's a question for you. Jay Max Googling it away as well. Powerful Glory. Let's come back to you, Jay, because this is the boost now, of course. Having said, is it one of those boosts? Sometimes, let's lift the lid on this and how it kind of works, you know. The engineering of these boosts up at William Hill. Sometimes we look at them and think, oh, it's on the slide, let's change. But this has now gone from that to being a right buzzer.
Yeah, it's been flip-flopping, and like I say, it was a little bit weak when the ground went heavy, but just through sheer lack of numbers, it's now shortened up again. The boost has changed from, it's now 9-4 from 15 to 8 is the boost price, the new boost price. But yeah, he's one we'll hope will get beat. It did look a bit of a step up, and there was a bit of hype rather than substance maybe in the price earlier on, but now it looks a more winnable race, but we'll keep our fingers crossed we can get him beat.
Well, strong opinions then with the Mill Reef coming up, and let's actually talk about the favourite then, G. When he went to Pontefract on his debut, the market spoke volumes, and he delivered the goods. Richard Farr, he's been speaking to the media this week, and he's high regard is the buzz, I think, about it. He's won it with Ribchester. He won it in 2013. I want to say Supplicant. Was that right?
Might be.
That's not helpful, Tom.
No.
Definitely Ribchester though in 2015. He doesn't waste his arrows in this.
Yeah.
And he probably is looking at him as a Commonwealth Cup horse, isn't he? Which of course he's got good.
Yeah, it's one of these races, isn't it, where you're going to take your chance on the potential, or you're going to you're going to go with the form. Powerful Glory is the horse with the potential, isn't he? And Brian is the horse with the form. So
Yeah, I wanted to nap Brian, but I wasn't allowed to, G.
Why? Because everyone else has.
No, because you've napped in this race.
Oh yes, yeah. I forgot about that.
And now, are you getting excited now? Because all of a sudden, you say, oh, listen, you're an insufferable creature. Right, so you come in and said, oh, I don't fancy anything today. All my horses are drifting, all that sort of thing. All of a sudden, the tide is turning. The nons are going everywhere. And Sarab Star's now 7.5 to 1.
Yeah, Sarab Star. I don't know whether that... Well, I don't think he's been that well back. It's just everything else is not running, isn't it?
Well, the less horses, the more likely you are to win.
Yeah, hopefully. I thought it was worth taking a chance on that horse because it showed a good attitude first time out at Salisbury for a horse who was a newcomer. Really dug deep and stayed on strongly to win narrowly. The third finished fourth, I think, in a hot sales race at the Curragh. So the form looks okay. And Jack Channon's got it in the Middle Park and the Dewhurst. And I thought that it'd make a big step up on that debut. And it was a big old price yesterday, like 12 or 14 or 16, something like that. And I thought at those odds it was worth a bet each way. However, we've only got 7 runners now, don't we? So we won't be even getting 3 places, let alone the 4 I was originally hoping for. But
back into your shell.
Nevertheless, I'm taking a chance on Sarab Star.
Yeah, the thing about him that was most interesting that he was odds on his day. Well, I like looking at maidens. I like looking at markets, and I turned on the market for the 4 o'clock at Salisbury one day when he was odds on. I couldn't believe it. A Jack Shannon horse odds on for a maiden with a few in there. There are a few in there, as G-Rod pointed out. So he's obviously very well regarded. And if you read the quotes in the paper today, he is planning. He thinks he's a lot better than he showed that day, and he is planning to go for the Dewhurst. So he must think a lot of him. If that's the case, then 15 to 2 is obviously a very big price. You just don't know about the ground, do you?
Shannon Jabba, though, make me think of Queen's Logic, doesn't it? That's the one, isn't it?
Star of Memas for the owner yesterday was really impressive. She went from 4 to 1 to 12 to 1 and bolted up. So I wouldn't too worry about the price. I liked Johnny, liked Brian, but I'm not sure I liked 9 to 4. He was 12 to 1 yesterday.
Well, he was bigger than that in the week as well.
Yeah.
I napped him on the show when he was 3rd in the Serenia Stakes.
He was unlucky.
It's fair to say I was screaming at the telly a little bit.
The thing about him is that he's run twice on soft ground, and he won by 5.5 and 4.5. The twice he's run, including one on this track. His sire is French horse Shaman, who had a winner here at Newbury yesterday for Clive Cox. And those horses love soft ground. So he's got lots in his favour. You've got to mention Star Anthem. Clive Cox had 3 winners yesterday at Newbury.
Yeah.
His 2-year-olds were absolutely flying. Star Anthem was a big eye-catcher in the Coventry. He was a fast-finishing 8th. We haven't seen him since, but the Coventry at the time I thought was a terrible race, and now I think it was a really good race.
Wow.
I think everything's turned round. I think the form's working out really well.
Al-Qudra, etc.
Al-Qudra and Rashid Bar and loads of them have come out and run big races in good races.
It's good to see, because it looked like it was a proper 2-year-old race at the time.
At the time, but it was all over the place and didn't know what was going on. But, Camille Passaro was in there. There were some good horses in there. So, interested to see Star Anthems into 9 to 2, because he was a big price yesterday, and obviously they're not running. He
couldn't do anything wrong, Clive Cox, yesterday, could he?
So I could see him going well, but just with the ground, I'd go for Brian, but 9 to 4, plenty skinny.
I spoke to Sylvester Kirk. I called him Sylvester de Kirk because I wanted to call him Sylvester de Sousa. It just came into my mind. The producer at Sky was like, what's he doing now? And but I pulled it back, and I said, is he dependent? And he goes, the one disappointing run he had for him, he said it was too quick. He goes, I'm not sure he wants an absolute bog, so this is something to bear in mind, but he definitely wants a bit of cut. And he thinks he'll stay further, and he's got a good horse. No stranger to good horse. Sallowen, of course. Decent
so do you think he might win?
I'm all over Brian today.
Did Sylvester?
I think he thinks he's got a proper chance. He didn't really give too much away. Sylvester, nice fella to talk to, but it's good to see him and another good horse anyway, that's for sure. All right, and that is the Mill Reef. What do you like? Get your comments in. Like and subscribe. Do you remember last week's show? I was saying, come on, like and subscribe. That's what it's all about. Keep the lights on here. And it went through the roof. Let's get those thumbs up, please, on YouTube. If you're watching there, welcome along. If you're just joining us here on the Morning Post, we're coming up to our final Saturday preview race. We've got a full panel in, and we've got a full 5 to 1 the field race, Jay. 24 go then. And American Affair, Portland winner, Jim Goldie in his big race.
Yeah, very popular. 6 places again here. Unlike the Silver Cup, where Summer Gand is easily the worst result of the day, this one's a bit more even spread. There's no real standout bad results, but the Goldie pair, American Affair and Jordan's Electric, very, very popular. Another one who's shortened a bit in price and has been popular over the last 10 days or so, ante-post, is Mustabshire, who's into single figures from 12 to 1.
You must love Mustabshire, must you? You must absolutely love this horse. He gets backed every single time, never delivers.
That is true, but there does seem to be, I know he was well touted in the Racing Post Gallop report about 10 days ago. There does seem to be a bit of momentum for the horse in this race. He is unexposed at 6, which some people think could do the trick. But yes, he has been a bookmaker's friend over the last 12 months or so.
Don't talk me into Mustabshire. You can't do it, can you? But when I used to work in the analysis department solely here, the boys that I used to work with there, some clever people, if you're watching, they used to love David Milnes's reports from the Gallops. He said, don't take a pinch of salt, but Milnes, he knows his stuff, doesn't he?
I like Milnesy. Yeah.
He
does give me a phone call.
I'm not
every
going to
now and
back
again.
Mustabshire today. Even Milnesy's not going to talk me into it. Does anyone like it on the panel?
Yeah, what's not? Hey, listen, the difference is but the difference is he's, as Jay pointed out, he does all his racing at 7 and a mile, hasn't he? Now he's back at 6. He's finished one race at 6, finished 4th in the Stewards' Cup. This will be perfect for him. I don't think he'll win, but I can think he run a massive race.
Who did we tip, Tom? Remind us.
Room Service was my Room Service and Pilgrim. I like 3-year-olds. I'm a bit of an old bore when it comes to it, but 3-year-olds got a very good record in the race over the years. Ramazan almost won it last year. They've had a few winners down the years that have gone close in this. They're both drawn very high, Room Service and Pilgrim. I think 24 and 22. So on yesterday's evidence, as G-Rod pointed out, they could be in the wrong place. If they're not in the wrong place, I think they'll go well. Obviously, American Affair was really impressive in the Portland. Wasn't he? Did really well to win.
Jim has had a very good season. He was 1-1-1. You know, we see Bradsell. Finally, sprinters are able to go in winning sprees again, which punters need.
And these horses that are in, the Port, significantly nearly did both last year, didn't he? He was unlucky in the Port and came here. It's been done many times over the past, so I think he's the right favourite.
Yeah.
American Affair. Rohan is one of those horses that I would never back in a billion years, but I'm quite happy to see other people, and he could win.
And you know somebody fancies him strongly today?
Yeah, a friend of mine, Richard Birch, really, really strong on him today.
He'll be at Charlton, will he? Watching?
He'll be on Charlton. He want me to text him the results, so I'll do that.
They'll teletext service from Segal. What an old pleasure.
Exactly, like I haven't got anything else to do.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so happy with the prize, Room Service? It has been
No, not
well
really.
backed,
I think
hasn't
it's plenty short enough
So
now.
Pilgrim might be the one now.
Well, Pilgrim's a different horse because most horses that win this race stay a bit further. Pilgrim's going up in trip, but the ground's a little bit different than it usually is. It's quite quick up there, isn't it?
Yes.
No rain forecast. Thought he was really impressive at Ascot when he won the 5 furlong Prince of Holyrood. You can forget his last run at York. David Barron was always a man Coastal Bluff and all those old ones. They used to win races like this. So I'm a big fan of his.
Like the Baron.
Yeah, I like the Baron in these type of races. So I thought he's an improving young sprinter. Might run well.
Yeah, forget that ducky. He definitely made my shortlist. Are you still with us?
Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking about my breakfast and the calf soon. Yeah.
You are going to the calf, aren't you?
Yeah, we're going to calf after. You coming?
I don't know.
Coming, Tom?
Absolutely
you
not.
put
I've
me in
got to do the Plumpton Place pop.
You put me in a sort of like, I'm a bit underwhelmed by your performance and your general
Sorry,
aura today.
I didn't know what to make of this race either. I mean, I hate to, carry on being uninspiring, but
Might as well. Go on. Take the floor.
I was very, very close to tipping Room Service in the paper. Didn't tip him. Then saw Tom had tipped it. I thought I'd probably
Away with one.
probably picked the wrong one. But yeah, I mean, I thought he was the most likely winner. Obviously, when he won at Pontefract last time, I backed him that day. I thought he was a little bit ahead of his mark, and he won well. They've given him wind surgery.
Yeah.
They were tempted to make him into a Guineas horse.
Yes,
weren't they,
absolutely. So, and Kevin Ryan's obviously got a great record, hasn't he?
He's won it 5 times, hasn't he?
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I tipped Room Service. Tom was saying, and I wrote in the column today. I mean, Orazio wouldn't be a massive
man who likes
surprise.
Orazio, he's about to come in. Yeah.
Wouldn't be a massive surprise. But he does have 2 ways of running. But
Oh God, does he?
If he runs like he did in the Wokingham, he's got a massive chance.
Yeah, but he probably should have been in group races by now, shouldn't he? Johnny Dineen, it's Russian Roulette Day. I assume this is the race that you were referencing there, Russian Roulette Racing. What's the lucky bullet for Dineen?
I'm only guessing, like, same as most fellas really. Well, I'd be going with the near side is high numbers, isn't it? The far side is low. Isn't that right?
Sorry, John, I've got a producer in me here trying to tell me all sorts of things as well where you're going.
Sorry, the near side is high numbers, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that the winner will come. Even though some of the horses I actually fancied, if I was to pick one like Orazio or what's drawn for, the favourites drawn forward as well, they're all drawn low. The one I liked is some way high was Billy Joe. Maybe look, it's run well in these kind of races. It might just fall his way some point in time. They're the kind of races they are. They might get a turn every now and then. You know what I mean? Maybe 1 in 10 or 1 in 15 if you're running enough of these races. And it has run well in like Goodwood Cups and whatever they were, whatever like that Stewart's Cup or whatever it is. I've backed Monstershire once or twice, small money, and I just think you get a real impression of what a yoke of horses when you actually lose your money on them. And I think Monstershire is a proper genius now myself. I couldn't have that.
Absolutely right. Cue a big win.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll win anyway, whatever wins anyway myself. I'd be surprised if it's even in the premises.
Yeah, all right, okay, thanks, Johnny. That is the Saturday previews done. It's Ayr Gold Cup Day. What do you like? We've got to move on because Johnny's on the clock a little bit as well, so the producer tells me. Of course, before we go and just get a few bets in Ireland today for you, John. The news this week, of course, let's bring you in on this, Johnny, that Cheltenham, of course, in March, they finally sort of, in the middle of the summer or the back end of the summer or whatever, they've now moved. The Turners is no longer a Grade 1 chase. It's gone to the 0 to 45 handicap. What Keeley must have been thinking about that this week, having absolutely gone mad when they got rid of it. The race is back. You had the sponsor from the Turners going, well, hang on a minute, what's wrong with the race? They were a bit disappointed. And I saw you had a bit to say on the platform known as X.
Yeah, look, I would have I would have never taken the novices handicap chase out in the first place. I thought that was one of the better races, definitely the better handicaps at the festival anyway, classy handicap. The likes of Plutard winning it and that, you know what I mean? It was a decent race. And I would think that these kind of meetings, they need marquee horses, and I think I wouldn't have seen any reason to remove the 2.5 mile novices chase at all. Some very, very good horses running that over the years. And look, the horses, like some horses, with the likes of Mullins anyway, you're going to have more than one horse for a race like the Arkle. And they were splitting them up, and rightly so probably as well. I didn't see any reason to there's plenty of other races would have got the hammer in my eyes anyway. I think the Mayor's Chase is a disgusting race myself. I think that's an awful thing to have at the festival. I didn't see anything wrong with this. And I think what you'll find is you'll have horses skipping Cheltenham now and not running in either race, the Arkle or the Brown Advisory, and going straight to maybe Aintree or the Power Gold Cup. That's what's going to happen, rather than fellas having this idea that there's going to be 15 runners in the Arkle and 17 in the Brown Advisory. That's not going to happen at all, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on and on about this, John, but if you look at the roll call of Turner's guys, it's not a bad one, is it? You've got some seriously good horses that won at Gallop, and Champ, of course, would have won that had he stood up. What did we make of this, Tom?
Look, I don't like all these intermediate grade ones myself. I mean, it's not my, when you have 4 runners and 3 of them are trained by Willie Mullins, it's not a great, I don't think it's a great thing. But I agree with Johnny, I don't think it's going to make that much difference.
You think they will still skip?
Yeah, I think they'll still skip.
But these big powerhouse owners just saying to Mullins and Elliott and Nichols and Dan,
I
just want to win at Cheltenham.
What I think will happen is they will, because they've lost this race, they'll be plotting up things for this handicap from now.
You've got to have more runs as well. That was something else that came in.
Yeah, there'll be 4 runs all around the gaffs. They'll have something.
Yeah.
It's not. Willie Mullins does a terrible record in handicap chases at Cheltenham. So
the mares are allowed to duck it, but yet the 2 mile 4 horses are now going to have to go because, of course, this will prosper the Arkle, right? Before we get a word from Graeme Rodway to end on this, let's go to J-Mac, because from a bookmaker perspective, you obviously had to avoid all the Turners bets. That must have been something in the office when you sort of spat out your coffee, seeing that they were getting rid of it. Of course, big ante-post book, because a lot of people book their tickets for the Turners horses straight after the last festival, don't they, Jay? And what has that meant for what now should be, a scintillating Arkle?
Yeah, hopefully it does filter through. Like I said, I do kind of agree that the likes of Paul Nicholls and Dan Skelton, that they are often tempted just to skip Cheltenham and maybe save their horses for Aintree rather than finishing 3rd, 4th, 5th at Cheltenham. But hopefully it does help both the Arkle and the Brown Advisory. And there was actually a bit of a move for Ballyburn yesterday. We were 5-2. We laid a significant bet, so that was maybe a clue as to the direction he's going to take this season. So 5-2 into 7-4.
Be amazed if he doesn't go there, wouldn't you? Amazed.
Well, now the Turners is out the way.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you're amazed. I mean, I bet. Well, he's a bit peed, isn't he? Because he can't hide it. You know, these horses the week beforehand, he's got one less option to hide in. Johnny Dineen, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us. Before you go, give us your nap of the weekend and maybe something in Ireland, please, as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I fancy quickly in Gordon Park. Joseph O'Brien in the first, Icona. Joseph O'Brien in the second, Tribal Nation. And in Navan, Joseph O'Brien in the first, Oxford Rock. And my nap of the weekend is in the 345 North Africa. And that's about it, really.
So it's Joseph O'Brien or bust for Johnny Dineen. There's a couple of 72 shots in there.
And his father's North Africa. That's about it.
Brilliant. Johnny, great to see you, man. Thanks for coming back onto the Morning Post. We love having you.
See you, lads. All the best. Best of luck.
Great stuff. The legend that is Johnny Dineen then. Okay, that brings us on to the rest of the show. Right, let's take a little breath. We're going to give you some free bets info now, and then we're going to come back with the business end of this Morning Post. Right, okay, thanks for sticking with us here on the Morning Post. We get towards the business end. As I said, we would like to look further afield. And Tom did a piece on Champions Day. And probably, I'm sure all of you would have seen that as well. There's a poll that's come up. Will City of Troy, that came up quite quickly. Yes, they're with you, Tom. The punters out there, unsurprisingly. Yes, will City of win. That's the boost, of course, the ante-post boost. They're giving you 3-1 at Hills for that. It's 5-2 generally. You won't be beaten on that. Go to take the 3-1. Go with Mr. Segal. This is one of the best horses we've ever seen. He can do it in the Classic. Wow, that'll be, of course, around about Guy Fawkes Day, won't it, I think? Is it the first weekend, isn't it?
It's the first weekend in November, isn't it?
I'm going to say the second.
I have no idea. Don't watch the Breeders' Cup.
Fact checkers out there. No, it is the second.
It
is the second. Tom doesn't watch it. He just collects all the profit afterwards.
Yeah,
you do watch Champions Day, of course.
Yeah.
And you did a lovely piece. And do you know what? You've absolutely got one as well. I was reading your piece and I went, that was a massive eye catcher.
Flora.
It was Flora.
Flora, I think, has got a good chance. Flora of Bermuda, who was sixth in the sprint.
Should have finished a lot closer.
Could have won, really.
Should have won.
And she should have been second in Tilazat in the Geest as well. She likes soft ground. She's
Loves
getting better.
I saw her at
Goodwood
Goodwood last year. I was telling one of our producers, Sam Hart, and it was one of the only winners I had in the week. Had a dreadfully drenched week. She cannot have it soft enough.
No, she'll like the ground. She'll stay well. Named after do you know who she's named after?
Go on.
Flora Duffy, the triathlete from Bermuda, the Bermuda's only gold medal winner at the...
That is your sort of quiz question, isn't it?
Only Olympic gold medal winner. She won the triathlon in... Where was it? Not Paris, the one before.
Flora. Is it for the
Duffy.
Bermuda Racing Club? Similar colours, isn't it?
Yeah, it is Bermuda,
okay.
so that's why she's...
Yeah, what price is she, J-Mac, in the Champions Sprint?
She is now 14. She was 20 before Tom put her up, but now 14-1.
Good to see Kinross coming back. Nap and Nick Luck, of course, on the show last week when he joined us, Lucky. Do you like anything?
I've been waiting for Kind of Blue. I thought I was going to get a payday at Haydock last time.
She's got a following, hasn't she?
And yet again, I've lost count of how many times this keeps happening to me, but something comes and beats me. And it's happened a couple of times this week as well.
He'd like the ground, couldn't he? His family all love soft ground. If it gets soft up there.
Typical Fanshawe, slow burning, top class sprints.
The Tin Man and Deacon Blues.
Put fresh in the Frizzante,
all of that lot. It's only had 6 rounds. I think.
Now, I have been told from Sam in the office there, you've got to mention Big Rock.
Yes, yeah.
Well, you did mention Big Rock, didn't you? Did you put it in your column?
No, I
you undernard. Why didn't you put it in then?
Well, because he's been completely out of form this season, but he did run better in America last time. Last year when he won the mile, he looked like Frankel. You cannot deny his time was off the charts good. He won by, 8 lengths. He looked as good a horse that has run at Ascot since Frankel.
Yeah.
But this year, he's looked like, G-Rod and me in a race.
That was on the Somme, though, Tom, wasn't it?
Well, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get in the middle of October.
When he left Christopher Head, you couldn't have made up a worse campaign if you tried. For him and Blue
Not a fan of the trainer, Dave.
Yeah, well, he's just inherited. I think the owner's a bit of a mercurial character, by all sounds of it, and Maurizio Guarnieri has inherited these two, and he was told to take him over to Canada when it was the Moulin was nearly bottomless and should have won against Tribalist and Sharon. He didn't. They've tried cheap pieces on him. I see the price angle, though.
He's a flying machine on heavy ground.
On heavy ground.
It's just whether he's back. You just don't know. Whether they'll stick him in America because he's been out to America. There was one German filly that I thought had a chance in the Fillies and Mares race, Guantanamera or something.
Guantanamera.
Yeah, who won the Grand Prix de Deauville last time, beat Arrest. Now, Arrest's not a great horse, but she beat him 5 or 6 lengths.
Hosed up, didn't she?
On soft ground, and there she is, 16 to 1. She was 33
It's often a
to
messy
1.
race, the Filly and Mares, isn't it?
Yeah, Blue Stocking, I presume, will go for the Arc.
Definitely going for the Arc because they've got the thing that won the September Stakes, Calpana. That looked like will that want the ground? I don't know, but it looks like a Group 1 winner in waiting to my eyes.
Yeah, how did she get beat in the Ribblesdale? It wasn't O'Sheen Murphy's best.
Slammed her in the betting that day as well. Do you remember?
It wasn't O'Sheen Murphy's best day.
Didn't go Balding's way, that. Yeah.
I didn't think, but she's getting better. But she's not. Doesn't set a massive standard, does she? Whereas I think when I was looking at the race, Guantanamera bar Blue Stocking was just about second highest, third highest.
Nice. A couple of juicy prices here.
RPRs.
What about the big one? Champion Stakes.
Well,
Economics. Now, of course, 6-4, J-Mac. Calandigan, the gelding coming against him. Scratch City of Troy, August Rodin, wouldn't know about that. Maybe Breeders' Cup as well. Los Angeles probably going to the Arc. Opera Singer, goodness knows what. Al Riffa probably going to the Arc. This could really mix up this market, couldn't it?
Yeah, looks as though it's going to be a bit of a head-to-head. Like I say, could get some stragglers from the Arc, but currently 4-9 the front two combined, and that probably will get shorter. You can see them both shortening up, and I'd argue they should be closer in the betting as well. There's a bit of recency bias maybe with Economics there. I'm not convinced his effort in Ireland was any better than Calandigan finishing a length behind City of Troy at York.
Yeah, will he want the ground, Calandigan? That's the question. I'm not really sure.
I know it sounds a bit of a silly thing to say, but I was a little bit disappointed with Economics. I know he won. I was just hoping to see him blow them away. Auguste Rodin's a very good horse, but he's not an absolute superstar, is he? And I don't know. I know he won. I know he won. But
it's a funny track. It's hard to look very good there. I've always felt.
I got Perlers for saying it was a short home straight, and I know in these novice races you seem to sort of sweep it off the bend. It takes ages to get to the winning post, but it does seem to be a funny race. The Irish Champions Stakes. They finished in a heap.
My personal opinion is he went for home way too soon. I know everyone said it was a brilliant ride from Tom Marquand. I thought he put him in the race round the outside.
Well, Tom said everything went wrong, didn't he?
That's what I thought. I thought he put him in the race too soon, and he did really well to win. That was my opinion. So
yeah.
I'm a massive Economics fan, even though you can't rate the form that highly.
Champions Day is going to be a perler, isn't it? You got Sharon, of course, who gets his chance again. Got to give him another chance. I think I was surprised that he drifted out. All right, what are you most looking forward to on Champions Day? Just get that succinctly, and then we'll move on.
Don't know, to be honest.
Helping us today,
yeah, we'll see.
I'm looking forward to that race, Economics versus Calandigan.
Yeah, big
Not
time.
sure I'll be getting too stuck into it, but that'll be a cracking race.
Yeah, you're getting a price about Calandigan, aren't you? Because after the City of Troy race, everyone said he'll be unbackable wherever he runs next time. So maybe stick with that memory of yours.
It's not my favourite meeting of the year. It's not my favourite month of the year.
Not your favourite month. What is your favourite month, G-Rod?
You've been thinking about this, have you?
Yeah, I really enjoy November. I like that run of, Wincanton and then
open meeting at
Cheltenham and Ascot. And
favourite race, the old Coral Gold Cup, the old Hennessy. What a race that is.
Yeah.
I like that run of Saturdays every Saturday. So not long till
November
my
for
favourite
you.
month. November for me.
I wonder if people have been talking about that in our community as well. Yeah, I think September on the flat is the one.
You're mad.
Hard to diss. No, hang on, I was just about to say November over jumps is a cracker.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, there you go. All right, okay, so we're moving on. That is Champions Day, done and dusted. All these markets live and available for you to have a go at now. Don't forget the boost today, of course, is Power of Glory. That's now, because of the nons, a pretty strong favourite in the Mill Reef at 3.15. Has anyone napped it? That's probably what you're asking out there. Let's get them up and see what the best bets are. I've gone absolutely... Well, I did want to go for Brian.
Wow.
but I couldn't do it. So is that what I'm getting? 40 to 1 about Glenfinnan. Didn't even mention him in the Ayr Gold Cup. How well did he do to win at Sandown last time? That was over to 7. This is a horse, of course, that used to be with Andrew Balding. Michael Dodds has inherited this guy, and he's had a really good season with him. He's drawn in the middle, which is, I think, where you might want to be. If I was going to have a stab at it, I think he's right in the right place. And 40 to 1 is absolutely massive. Let's go for it.
Johnny stepped out, isn't he? Johnny stepped out.
Yeah.
8 to 11.
8 to 11.
That's your kind of price, usually.
I was waiting for that to come. It was 4 to 7. This is boosted, of course. He gave you a Joseph O'Brien treble. This is the strong leg Tribal Nation for Johnny Dineen. J-Mac, this is the day, hopefully, for Brooklyn 99.
Yeah, hopefully this is the day patience is rewarded with Brooklyn 99.
Tom, tell us about yours, because it's a horse we've not mentioned.
Well, I didn't know the ground was going to be heavy. He's a proper good horse. He was 4th to economics at the start of the season on his debut. Then he ran against Indelible up at Doncaster. He's a Kingman, Harry Charlton, proper potential Cambridgeshire type horse, but first time on heavy ground. His family liked it. Sangarius is his full brother, really likes soft ground, so I'm hoping he'll be all right. Ryan Moore's booked.
He's just coming in, looks like he's showing his
true
colours.
Yeah, I think so, but it's heavy ground, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, so he's got a bit of G-Rod about him for the end of the show.
Well, for this one I have, because when we did these things yesterday, obviously we have to do them a bit in advance.
They're pesky producers,
I know,
aren't they?
they're just so annoying.
They've got 20 minutes of rain coming, people. You're getting me tired to change mine this morning. It was a non.
It wasn't heavy ground. I wasn't expecting a massive thunderstorm. But look, I still think he's the class horse in the race.
You've spent all show being a misery guts. All
Yeah.
right, you're not confident about anything. This is your moment. Drum roll. Sarab Star.
Yeah, taking a chance that maybe it's good enough.
In the horrible could be anything
Yeah, it
category,
could be
and
anything,
I'm having to get you over the line with your
Yeah,
analysis there.
I was going to say something. Yeah, no, it's all right. It's not important.
He will be back on the show sometime soon, Graeme Rodway, as I hope you will as well. It's been a really good morning. It's Ayr Gold Cup day. J-Mac, superb stuff. Market's going to change again all over the place, we reckon, in the coming weeks. But today they're strong and solid. I guess the punters are probably looking towards that unseasonably decent ground at Ayr. Go horribly, won't you?
I'll try to, Dave. Yeah, once again up north, have had the better weather, and there's another important non-runner that Newbury just come through. Desperate Heroes out to the first, sadly. So I've also backed a non-runner today.
Light flies. You're catching all over the place, aren't you?
Tom said he don't like soft ground, and the trainer agrees.
You're quite right, and I've been made to look
But I
like
tell
a
you,
fool.
Jack Shannon he trains it, doesn't he? Desperate Hero. He must think that Sarab Star will
like
go
the
on
ground,
it.
It's all about Sarab Star. All
Hold
right,
on.
okay.
No, I was going to say it was a non-runner. Gee, I wouldn't do that.
It might well be, mightn't it? Let's hope they stand their ground at Newbury a little bit later on. Don't forget, great racing in the States tonight as well. There's a good racing tomorrow as ever. Johnny D's giving you a Joseph O'Brien treble. Pleasure it was to hear from John. Tom, good luck. Working, Reading, what are we doing?
I'm working today. Reading are at Bolton, so I won't be able to get up there in time.
All right, okay, probably a good thing. G-Rod?
Well, I'm going to the CAF because West Ham versus Chelsea kicks off at 12:30, and I've got to go back past West Ham's ground, and I don't fancy
You got your
getting
Stone Island
caught.
on, have you?
Yeah, I don't fancy getting caught in the train traffic going back past
All
West
the
Ham.
punters
so
are thinking, please get on that train.
I'm off to the CAF, but I'm looking forward to boxing tonight. Should be a fantastic
AJ
night of
versus
boxing,
Daniel
AJ
Dubois.
and Daniel Dubois.
Yeah, let's just quickly, J-Mac,
that
before we
should
go
be
there,
great.
massive fight tonight. What price is AJ? Curveball for you.
That is a curveball. Very, very short, I would guess, but I don't have prices to hand. But off the top, if my boxing compiling head on about 7 on, maybe, AJ?
Not that short.
Blimey, is he?
It's not that short.
All right.
100
okay.
to 30 on, we're hearing. 100 to 30 on AJ tonight. I wouldn't be taking that price, would you?
7 to 2 on Dubois.
Wow.
11 to
okay.
4.
All right. Okay. Dubois is 11 to 4.
You'll be watching that, Dave?
Yeah, I absolutely will. Yeah. I'm going to go and have a nice meal out and then come back and
How much
do
does it
that.
cost to watch that on the old Sky thing these days?
Pass.
In the 20s, I think.
In the
Pass.
20s.
Pass.
Yeah.
Some of
I
us
did
get a
that
freebie
once.
on
I
that.
did that once, and it was the most boring fight I've ever. Fell asleep.
It's always the way, isn't it?
I
They
thought,
come
I'm
out
not
2
doing
in the
this
morning.
again, yeah, I'm not
Oh,
doing this again.
All right, okay. Well, it's been something of a boxing match on this morning's Morning Post, hasn't it? If you like it, don't forget, get those thumbs up. Go well, punters, today. We love you, and we'll be back next week. Enjoy the sport.